Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, where we are about to begin, finally, our Doom Patrol Season 3 episode reviews. Here we are. It's been, I want to say, has it been a year? I don't remember. I mean, I should have obviously checked the dates of the uploads to see. I think we did wrap. Oh, no, we didn't. It's been more than a year, because we started that at the end of June. And then we immediately went, so it's been more than a year since Season 2 ended. And let me tell you what, Season 3 did not miss a beat. We just immediately went back into the story. I had some choice things to say about it, personally. I think this was, we're still experiencing, I think for me, the very end of the COVID delays. As this is, I think, the latest premiere. It's been more than a year since they wrapped, so... Yeah, definitely COVID, the whole shutting down of Season 2 definitely hurt the Season 3 premiere. It definitely sets things up interestingly for the next 9 episodes to follow. And also, if you're asking to myself, why the hell am I wearing a mask? Well, here's the thing. If you're unaware, a thing I've been doing in most of my reviews now, it's like, I kind of want to symbolize something from the show. If you watch my Heels reviews, to simulate Bruce Campbell himself, I wear sunglasses. Even though wrestling has something to do with sunglasses. But I say, screw it. Because Bruce Campbell. And for Stargirl, I put on one of my masks from my mini Halloweens ago. And so for Doom Patrol, I'm going to get the weirdest thing from my house that I own, that I still have. And I found this mask from, I want to say, 2007, 8, 9. It's a pretty old mask. The original string broke on it, so if this mask kind of comes loose a couple times, I apologize. So you'll never see my perfect face in the next, I want to say, well, technically, we're getting 3 reviews this week, so... for the next 9 weeks, you will not see this face if you're just seeing our Doom Patrol stuff. So if you want to see my face, you're going to have to go to our other shows. So, again, enough about explaining why I look like this. It's over. Plus, I don't have to do my hair because you can't see my hair, which is great. So I can be a lazy bum, which is mostly what I am when I come home. Anyway, let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this premiere for Doom Patrol, the 3rd season. So... we immediately begin where Season 2 left off. A bit of very rush. I will say this. The whole resolution of the Candlemaker stuff was very underwhelming. I initially thought going into this, like, we were just going to get, like how the other shows have been doing this. We're wrapping up our current season because of COVID. Like, we're going to make whatever we shot fully the last episode of the season. Then the next episode will be reusing episodes. It seemed like this season had to make a lot of cutbacks, in my opinion, where it's kind of hard at times to differentiate where Season 2 ends in terms of production to where Season 3 begins in production. Because the thing is, I think I heard an interview last season where, yes, episode 9 and 10, there were scenes shot for the 10th episode that they instead repurposed for episode 9 to make it kind of like, this is ending this season's story, but we'll fully wrap it up next season. The Candlemaker stuff. So I really don't know. I'm pretty sure all the Carnival stuff was filmed in Season 2, and then those were going to be saved for the original finale had COVID not happened. But sadly... it wasn't, because it really doesn't make sense. Like, I completely forgot, because, again, it's been more than a year. I've watched a lot of shows, and I've reviewed a bunch of shows since then, so I forgot a couple plot points that, Niles was going to die, and yes, Niles dies in the first 5 minutes, when, damn, I forgot. Again, this is the one problem when you have such big breaks from reviewing, is that, or just watching shows, that I forgot his daughter's name for the love of me, and I remember that each and every week last year, and now I can't even remember. I'll eventually remember. I'll remember. Dorothy, there we go. See, I told you, if I do enough blabbering, I remember. So Dorothy and Candlemaker supposedly was gonna have this huge big fight, but in reality, the huge fight was just Candlemaker locks Dorothy in a box, and somehow Dorothy finds a bow and arrow, manages to transport them to the Arctic wasteland or something like that, and she does a Dormammu I come to bargain moment where she said, like, look, you're powerful, but I'm powerful too. So here's the deal. If you're not willing to play nice, I will gladly lock us in this world for as much time as necessary until you decide to be nice and let's be friends again. Which, honestly, I was saying to myself, really? We're not going to get a cool CGI fight scene between a little girl and a freaking CGI candle monster. Whatever. Honestly, this would have made for some great story jumping off points, but literally they just wrapped entirely Candlemaker in like the first 4 minutes. And I was kind of really underwhelmed by it, because at least with like other DC shows like Flash, they didn't rush Mirror Master just to get to the other forces. They took the time needed to wrap her up before they move on to the next one. Same with Batwoman, same with Supergirl, same with every other show. They took their time. And while I appreciated that, I apparently think they didn't get the memo, because Candlemaker, this very CG looking monster, still pretty good voice. This threat that we had for the entire second season was literally just wrapped up, and I'm pretty sure we'll just forget about. If you're unaware, Doom Patrol released the first 3 episodes this today on its launch. I haven't watched them yet. I'm doing it one by one, so I'm gonna watch episode 2 after I'm editing this episode, and then after review, and then after I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll do 3. So if Candlemaker does show up in the next 2 episodes, I apologize. I haven't watched them yet. I will. Just give me a little bit of time, please. I'm not going to freaking binge all 3 episodes, do an entire 90-minute review. Hell no, not doing that. Every episode deserves its own time to talk about and ramble, because you want to get this lovable, rambling self wearing a white mask. Actually, continuing with the plot. Thankfully, everyone gets freed of their wax tombs. I completely remember what the hell everyone was on after we wrapped up last time. I still forget how the hell Cliff lost his body. I forgot for the life of me, but he'll fix that momentarily. Victor goes around checking in on everyone. Everyone seems to be fine. Obviously, Jane is still in a coma from her whole internal battle with that one other persona last season. So she's still stuck in a coma. Cliff has no body, but Rita, Larry, and Cyborg are all fine. They regroup to find Niles' body. They obviously know he's dead, but then they look up. They see Candlemaker, assuming like, okay, here we go. Big fight scene moment time, but no, it's just Dorothy on him. She's taking control again. They're friends, I'm presuming, again. So I'm like, yippee, congratulations. But however, reality sits in for Dorothy as she looks down and she finds Niles' body on the ground, indicating that yes, he is officially dead. He's not coming back at all. Which I completely forgot. Like, I immediately forgot, like, wait, why wasn't Niles on the promotion for Season 3? I'm like, he's still alive? And I remember, oh yeah, they took away his immortality at the start of Season 2, so they didn't have to stay tiny people anymore. I completely forgot about that. Which I'm honestly surprised why I didn't remember it. But yeah, so he's gone. They don't have to pay Timothy Dalton's extreme high salary for being a veteran actor, so kudos for them, but we cut over 1 week later, which is just the shtick with TV shows. That, okay, this comic's done. Exactly 1 week later, we'll come back with something else, or we'll give an update to things. They're back at the manor. Dorothy's still in her coma. Not Dorothy. Jane's still in her coma. Victor puts Cliff back into a new body. Well, the same body, just a different model. But some of the hands aren't moving so well, and Cliff thinks, oh, this is the last revenge from Niles. He's giving me a crummy secondhand version of my body in order for me to suffer, since he's now dead and now at peace. But Victor's like, no, your cybernetics are fine. The body's fine. It's something up in your mind. And, of course, in true Cliff fashion, I miss Cliff so much. I love Brendan Fraser a lot. I love him since I was a kid. I love him now. And I completely forgot how much I loved him as Robot Man. And immediately I fall back in love with the character. I really do. With his cursing, his swearing, his nonsensical for having no patience whatsoever. I love it. I love it so much. And where do we go from there? Yeah, so... but everyone else is trying to progress on normally, as to speak. Damn, I forgot it. Rita and Larry are trying to keep things normal, per se. Yeah, they kind of lived a life without the chief for a while, so this is kind of like sliding back into things. The only difference is that he's actually dead, so there is no him coming back into their lives anytime soon. But there is one problem. Dorothy. Like we said in Season 2, once Niles passed, these fuck-ups are in charge of Dorothy. They're basically the new parents. And honestly, I feel very scared for Dorothy right now, because how can you... Imagine, like, you never met your mom, you had a dad all your life, and then your dad is gone. And you're still a kid. How do you imagine, like, being raised by all these people you barely even know, and have no sorts of, like... like, I guess Rita and Larry could make decent parents, but like Uncle Larry, Uncle Cliff, and Jane, hell no, they would be like, I ain't getting them near my kid whatsoever. But Dorothy's not really focused on that. Her priority right now is to make sure Jane wakes up from her coma so that she can say goodbye to Niles properly, and then they can bury the body, because apparently Niles has been just rotting over on the kitchen table for the last week, using up all the veggies. I'm just thinking to myself, damn. I'm debating, was this real, like, hey, Timothy, can you fly out to the States for, like, oh, by the way, Timothy Dalton is British, by the way, if you're not understanding my reference. Can you fly out to Georgia to shoot a scene of you just on a body? Great, thanks, we'll still pay you your salary. If that was actually the case, or this was, like, recycled footage from the season 2 finale, I'm like, whatever. I'm all game for there. I'm all game. I want to say I don't know, we get a Jane update next, or we go back to no, we get Jane. So, back in Jane's mind, real Jane escapes the well she was trapped in, after receiving the toy. And she finds out that every other persona has been imprisoned, everyone else has been kind of, it's basically a wasteland right now. So, Jane's got a lot to work on right now. Meanwhile, back in reality, Dorothy is slowly accepting that Niles is gone and then everything's about to change, and Larry having his own experience of doing that, in terms of like moving on from the people he loves and just living this new life of having to be disconnected from that. They're kind of in the same peas in the pies right now, since Larry's not even over all his trauma. And he's over, like, I want to say, like, 60, 70, 80 years old with this shit. So, I'm not really surprised that's the case. I really am. Where do we go from here? I want to say Rita heads off to her performance. Well, not perform, her rehearsal. But one of the things that she gets left behind in one of her dressers is Niles' present for her. Well, his parting gift, which is a set of keys, which literally offers no context of things. It's just okay. It's a spare keys, but Rita's thinking of the more philosophical meaning to this. Is like, this is basically the chief passing down his role fully to Rita, where back when we get to the rehearsal scene, when of course Rita's role is only like a line or two that's in the entire play she's doing, she blows up at everyone because she's just fully dealing with the fact that, yeah, Niles is gone. He technically fucked over her life, but at the same time, not only is Niles dead and not paying the consequences for his actions, in terms of Rita's justice, he's also basically passing along like, oh, here's all the shit I was doing when I was still alive. Yeah, you're in charge of it right now. And also basically, in a sense, it's not said on camera, but basically like, yeah, you're Dorothy's new caregiver. You got to take care of this little girl who, I forgot what the reason was. I think she's going to start aging because, again, like, coincidentally, the actress, if this continues going for more seasons, if she's still around, the actress is going to get taller. She is going to get older. So I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, she's going to start growing up now. And now Rita's going to have to help figure that out. But she's having enough of it because, like, again, everyone was so tired of the Chiefs bullshit from last season that going into here, it's like, why are we doing this? Like, we're done with him, and everyone's still dealing with their own shit. Cyborg, again, now using this excuse to, like, kind of stay around the manor, stay isolated from society. Larry, once again, deal with the whole fact that, okay, the chief is gone. That's a whole major part of our life gone already. Let's move on to the next thing. Remember the spacemen from season 2? Yeah, that offer's still on the table. We can still go there if we want to. So the negative spirit inside of him is like, yeah, let's go have these new adventures, but Larry's not there yet emotionally to go and join that team. He's not ready yet. He still wants to stay on Earth for a while. And Cliff, I completely forgot that Cliff reconnected with his daughter. He has a grandbaby on the way, and he already missed the wedding. So now, the other thing is like she's pregnant, so it's like, okay, better I just stay out of their lives. They were fine before me. They're gonna be fine after me. I have no worries about it. So I want to say, yeah, so picking up from Rita's rehearsal, she eventually let slip that she was the monster that the plays performed on. So because her face starts drooping away, she loses her emotional control over her abilities. So she runs out. I want to say, yeah, the main bulk of the episode then focuses on Jane and her internal struggles with the, I forgot the name of the persona. that she was dealing with. I really did. But eventually, I think to wrap that up, sure, because again, I was really disappointed that they decided to cut the Candlemaker stuff and put more emphasis on Jane's stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I was okay with, because they're still wrapping up the season 2 plot lines. I was not satisfied with that, because I kind of did want what Jane was going to go for to kind of last a little bit deeper into season 3. They kind of wrapped everything up with that stuff in the first episode, which I'm like, this could be a COVID chain. They're like, okay, we got to wrap up all the season 2 stuff so we can go full into fresh into proper season 3. But at the same time, I'm just thinking to myself, is this even recording? This is recording, yeah. Yeah, one of the mask really like reduces my vision, and I can't drink my tea, so I'm very disappointed on that. So anyway, eventually, I think Jane does team up with the little girl persona, which is, I believe, if I remember correctly, was the original Jane, the original persona, the first person to inhabit this mind. They team up. Metaphorically, Jane has to fly up into the sky to become the primary again. But then the other person who became the primary is about to fight them. And also the mythological sense is that she's going to use an airplane to get up there. But then all the other personas kind of step in and join her and pushes the plane off. And that somehow beats the other persona, which I'm like, okay. Alright, if you want to wrap that up in like one episode, okay, fine. I would have thought this would have been a very interesting source for new conflicts, but I'm like, okay. Do what you do, writers. Do what you do. I'll trust you. I'll trust you. Yeah, so I think eventually, yeah, everyone regroups back at the house. I'm thinking I'm not forgetting. Oh yeah, I forgot before we get to that point, because I kind of wrapped up the episode for this one. Cliff has a moment where I think he's just working on his hand, and he's just accepting the fact he'll probably never get to see his family again, his remaining family left. The chief shows up in a ghost hologram looking thing, and I'm like, this is so weird, because like, I'm half convinced he was in Georgia for the table scene, and then I'm also half convinced that he just filmed this on a camera, and it's home in the UK, and then he just sent the footage over. Because I'm not gonna lie, this footage kind of feels very not professionally and this is kind of weird to say, because like, I'm pretty sure they were filming this season when COVID was kind of like, okay, we can start to like get camera crews around. I really don't know why the quality was like, it was a little bit off-putting for me a little bit, but again, the whole message of the speech is that just to remind you, my body's still alive. Y'all need to burn me so I can move on. And Cliff's like, hell to the fucking no. Why should you move on in peace while we're all still suffering here, dealing with the consequences of your mistakes? But eventually, because I think the whole reasoning that the chief used for Cliff to be the one to burn him is like, you hate me the most. You probably want to burn me alive, don't you? Well, here you go. This is your one opportunity. I won't mind. And eventually, I do believe, yeah, Cliff does get convinced by it, but he basically tells him, like, look, I ain't gonna fully like it, but at the same time, it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. Then the whole Jane stuff happened, and I think one of the big things that the other persona was about to do to kind of like self-destruct in a way is to have the main body commit suicide. So it was near the point of like her going out the ladder into the noose fully. But then what happens was afterwards is that, yeah, Jane takes over, she stops her, and then obviously Robot Man catches her, and it's fine at first. Jane's a little bit distant, but then she realizes, yeah, I'd rather be here than like in a freaking well. So she gives Cliff a big hug. Everyone was like, okay, first group hug, and Jane's like, nah, man, nah, don't touch me, do not touch me, no, which is kind of really, really crazy. But I'm like, okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it up there. So yeah, later on, every character, this is kind of like where everyone's starting to like really move on, so to speak. I think, yeah, so after that, Rita and Larry just have this like big conversation about something. What's funny was the rain that's in the background right now was going on, and I had the AC on because it's a little warm in here. So I can hear 100%, but I think this was just the accepting the fact that, yeah, it is time to like kind of move on, and Larry takes off with the negative spirits of the sky flying, presumably to go to space, and also his skin reverts back to normal, which, again, I don't understand the signs of that, or that was just like a nice camera shot, but it was nice, it was effective. Cyborg also, then meanwhile, been helping out his on the run criminal girlfriend or booty call, whatever you want to call him. I forgot he does call her early in the episode to kind of like give her another opportunity to like turn herself in, maybe have like a lesser sentence if she confesses. She's like, hell to the fucking no, I'm not doing that at all. But because Victor still loves her, he decides to tip off her about the cops coming in on her so that she can get away. So I was like, damn, Cyborg, you're really horny. You really are. Robot Man decides to take a trip up to his daughter, see the grandbaby's birth. And I was like very scared for a good moment where I felt like the shaking hands, like, oh, please don't tell me, please don't tell me. And thankfully then I was like, okay, thank God. They didn't go there. They didn't go there. Thank God. I believe Jane, and back in her mind, is like just having a feast with her persona. Apparently, whatever that persona died of, it just created a bunch of candy, and they all start eating it. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure that was the weirdest metaphor that the show's ever done, and I'm really hoping that was it. It kind of just created a fine sense of like, okay, premiere's over. We're not really gonna have the next big thing or the what's gonna happen next right now. Let's give them a little bit of a break. Let's give them a break. But nope. That's not the case because Rita passes out in her bed, presumably for another week. She wakes up to a very large, loud noise in the library, and she realizes the key that Niles gave her, and whatever the noise is connected. So she opens it up, and it's kind of like an old-fashioned radio, letting whoever's on the other end know, like, she's approaching, and I think Rita just flips the key and stops it. Presumably, it kind of stops it. I'm not really 100% sure on that, if that was the case or not. I'm not sure. And then also later, the community play happens, the one that Rita was a part of. Obviously, sans Rita right now. So, the play was very... not the best, but it was okay. It was kind of weird that this is the same episode where we literally saw Timothy Dalton, one of the best actors that ever lived, next to just this type of musical. It's just so weird to me, to be honest with you. It was either one of the cast members or one of the audience members. Like they were stuck in the musical mood, so they started just dancing on this very open street. So I was like, okay, you should really get back now. You don't know who's drinking and driving this time of night. And coincidentally enough, this giant drill comes out of the ground. I'm thinking to myself, Underminer? Nah, well, it's not Underminer. It's just a woman. We don't know. She's in a mechanic suit. We don't know who she is. But her first introduction, which I was like, okay, she's going to say some badass line, maybe like, where's Niles? And then that's where the episode ends. But no, she literally comes into frame, pulls out her pants, thankfully off frame, and starts taking a piss. And I'm just thinking to myself, what kind of character I don't know if this is a new hero or the big bad. I don't fucking know. And it's like their first introduction to this character is she's taking a piss on screen. And she uses the playbill as toilet paper. And I'm just looking and I'm laughing and I'm just, what is this show? What is it? But I was right on one thing. She is looking for Niles. She asks the random girl if she knows where she is, but she's so like distraught that like a giant drill just came out of the ground, and also the fact that this woman suddenly is morphing her face to this other woman, to this other woman's face, and she just overreacts and she accidentally falls through one of the holes from the drill, and the lady's like, "Oh well, I'll find Niles myself." And I'm just like, I want to know more about this character, and also why the heck did y'all take a piss on screen? Because like, on my other show, Heels, like, I thought that was the furthest I was going to go. Like, I literally saw a man's dick. Whether or not that was his real dick, I don't really know. It could have been a prosthetic. Could be the real thing. I don't know. I was traumatized for life seeing his hairy-ass butt and his freaking genitals. And here on this show, it's literally a woman peeing on the ground. I'm just like, I'm done. I think that's going to do it for me, everyone, because I'm losing my brain cells here. But again, although this was a very funny premiere and a very great way to get us back into this world after a year away, there were a couple of issues I had with it. It very much rushed the season 2 storyline, gave the wrong attention to some other storyline, gave the right amount of attention to other storyline. It was a very much of a mix mash of stuff. You know, another COVID casualty to kind of just like move on from the past, move forward to the future. So hopefully next episode will kind of like be a little bit more firm through and through. but we'll see how that goes. Because for me, I'm going to give this episode 1.5 thumbs up. It's not the best premiere I've seen, but it's still a good premiere. Definitely gets us back into this world nice and safely. So I think that's going to do it for me, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 3rd season of Doom Patrol. If you want to know what we're doing normally and What's in the Tube besides our Doom Patrol reviews, we're currently doing Heels episode reviews each and every Tuesday mornings after a brand new episode on Sunday nights on Stars. We're also doing DC Stargirl Season 2 episode reviews each and every Wednesday morning after a brand new episode on Tuesday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. And then starting this Monday, we're about to kick off our Rookie Season 4 episode reviews every Monday morning after a brand new episode on Sunday nights on ABC. It's literally the longest weekend ever because we have 3 Doom Patrol episodes, then the Rookie episode review. We have 1 day off, then we're into Stargirl, and then we're all over the damn place here, everyone. So I'm like, damn, it's gonna be a wild ride. My vacation is over. I did 2.5 reviews a week, sometimes 2. But I'm like, nope, now it's time to get back to work. We got a lot of shows coming out. Literally, there's a lot to do in October. So stay tuned. Get ready for that. More announcements to come soon. But if you don't care about Doom Patrol, you're in super luck because throughout the next 2 days, we're going to be still doing more Doom Patrol reviews. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, you'll be getting the episode 2 review on Saturday morning. And then you get the episode 3 review for season 3 on Sunday morning. So you have a whole weekend of Doom Patrol reviews for me to enjoy. And also, then after that, we're going to go back to our normal Friday morning time slot for Doom Patrol Season 3 episode review. So, so much shenanigans to be had. But again, if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Like, favorite, share this review if you want to, but it helps us get out there to other members of the fan patrol who have yet to discover us. Helps us beat up the YouTube algorithm that hates me ever so much in life, and as well as sharing it for free here on the interwebs. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review for Doom Patrol's Live, which is again every Friday morning except for the next 3 days, which it will be every single day. And also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel. But until then, for all you Fan Patrol members out there, I'll see you all tomorrow for the episode 2 review. For me, it's going to be in the next hour and some change before I go to bed. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out. It is hard, keeping my team.